Hey friend, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can dial in your snare sample perfectly with your recorded snare. This is often a missed step whenever you are adding samples, which I wholeheartedly love adding samples to drums. It makes drum mixing more fun, more exciting. You can drastically change the drum sound or just take a drum sound that's already really great and then just give it that extra lift, give it that extra punch, and really just make it sound good and make it clear in the mix, or make it really, muddy, not muddy, but like big and boomy in the mix. And so adding samples is always cool. It's also cool not to add samples. If you can make your drums sound good without them, then go for it, right? But in this tutorial today, I really want to hit on a couple of things you can do to really make sure that your snare sample is working well with your original snare. Because whenever I go to add samples, I always opt to sample blend, especially on snare drum. I'm more apt to completely replace something if it's a kick drum, maybe a tom. But when it comes to snare, it's just one of those things. I love having the actual hit from the drummer, the dynamics, because every hit's just a little bit different. And so I love to actually have that somewhere in the mix just to keep that human element. And so in this tutorial today, we are using a song from Mario Malik, and if you guys have not heard him yet, I've been mixing his album. This song is already out. I will link to it below if you guys want to go check it out. They did a full video and everything. He's awesome. His whole team is awesome. But I wanted to just show you guys, on this song, how I would do it kind of from scratch. So in this song, what I've already done here is actually, you know what? Here, I'll just let you guys listen to the song a little bit. So just an amazing team, amazing band. Yeah, they just sound awesome. So so in this song, this was the snare that was sent to me. I will show you guys that, and I will take off any processing I have. So it's not bad. It has a lot of great low end to it, and a lot of that like really good mid range that I like. Not the bad one, And then I just put silencer on it and some crazy EQ to kind of get the sound that I really wanted for this snare. Let me turn this off real quick. And so here we're just putting silencer on. Just trying to get just that snare to come through, and then this is the EQ. Just kind of get more of that fundamental, and trying to get a little bit of the smack because there was no snare bottom. They did not have enough tracks to do that, because if you guys look at this, it is there's a lot going on in this live recording. So my desk is shaking and it's really making me annoyed. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So here on the snare sample, this is the sample that I ended up going with, which is actually one of my samples that I haven't even talked about or released. And so here's that sample. Oh, I'm not solo. There we go. So this is a snare sample I use quite a bit, especially on, more gospel style albums. It has a nice top end that I really like. It's from a Ludwig kit. I can't remember the exact one, but I've had this sample for a while, and it just sounds good. And so we'll play them back together. So they're already working well together. But here's the thing. Here's one of the number one things that you need to keep in mind whenever you are adding a snare sample is usually the fundamentals are completely off. And so what I mean by that is we're going to take a new Pro Q4 here, and I'm going to put it in the front of all these plugins. And what I'm looking for on this Pro Q is I'm looking for where is the fundamental of the snare drum. So it looks about 160, 170. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, so about, I'm going to say about 170. And so now let's drag this over. Behind the trigger would be smart, right? And let's see where the fundamental is here. So you can see this one is more at 195, 190. And so already what we can do is just we're just going to dial it back, and I actually just use trigger for this. So you just take this tune and you're going to dial this back. So we're going to pin this, and then we're going to pull this up. Get rid of this. And so we're going to look for, is it 171 right there? That's what we're looking for. So that's what we want to do. So we're going to take this tune, go back about 3, see what that sounds like. Maybe a 4, 5. All right, we're almost there. 6. Let's go back a little bit more. One more. Okay, so now I don't know if you guys can actually hear that difference or not, but we're gonna try to A/B it the best we can here. So let me do this. Oh my gosh, computer's freaking out. Okay, so this is with the snare sample pulled back at 10, and then now back at 0. And we're listening for the relationship between the snares, not anything else. So -10. See how it almost feels like it's now one snare instead of a snare sample on top of the actual, the live snare. And so this is one of the biggest things. Like if you don't do this with you should do this with your toms, your kicks, everything. Take the time to do it because it matters so drastically. Now, of course, you want to, go through and make sure you actually choose the right sample. I have so many freaking samples here, but go through and choose the sample that's going to work best. And then the last thing that I do is like, well, now that I have these, lined up, I've chosen the snare that I want, snare sample that I want. Now, what do I do here is I just add whatever I need to add. And so in my opinion, this snare sample just needed a lot more top end because there wasn't really a ton of top end between these two. And of course you can always add more snare samples to trigger. And again, just make sure that they're lined up with the fundamentals somewhere. That's it, guys. Like that is it's so simple, but it makes such a big difference whenever you get into that mixing stage, because maybe you go to EQ and you add more of this low end that you like in your snare sample, but the fundamentals all wrong. It's not, or it's not the same as the actual snare itself. And so when you go to boost the fundamental of the snare sample, it doesn't, there's something about it that doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because they're not lining up on their fundamentals. So it almost gives you like this, it's like slightly out of tune, like the drum is out of tune, right? And then so maybe then you just kill the original snare and then all you have is the sample, but now you don't have the human element in the dynamics. And so just please do this because it will make sample blending 100 times easier. And that's it for this video. It's super short, super easy, but it's so critical to understand how to do this because it'll make your drums sound so much better, especially when you're adding samples. Also, the day that this video is dropping is actually my birthday, and so what I was thinking, what's something I could do, for my birthday, and well, I like getting gifts, but I also like giving gifts. So the snare sample that I just used, I'm going to let you guys get access to it for free. So there's going to be a link down below. You just enter your email. I'll email it to you. And you get the snare sample that you just heard for absolutely free. And just pro tip, what I do pretty often is I come here and I add some top end to it if it needs it. Sometimes I receive a snare with a ton of top end and it sounds great. I don't need to. But other times, needs to add the top end. Just do something like this and it'll sound great. Promise. I love you. Jesus loves you. I will see you on the next episode.